So hello guys, this is Atul from Be Practical Tech Solution. So today again we are here with one of the question based on array. So here what we have to do is like here we have given one array and one number is given as a 11. So here you can find out that here we have to print all the starting and the ending indexes of the elements whose sum is going to be equals to this num value. So it means that I need to find out all the possible pairs which is present in this array, which can give me the sum of 11. So it seems a very easy question. Let's try to solve it. Now what we can do is like, let's create one function which is going to return me or let's say make it as a void only, which is going to give me the starting and the ending indexes. Like I have to represent the index position of these elements. Let's say, for example, as per this question manually, if I'm going to try. So here the first index and the 1, 2, 3, 4. So the fourth index, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. And then this is one is going to be the sum of 11. Then this one, the last, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the index position 5 and 6 is going to give me the value of sum of 11. So now let's try to write the code for the same. So what we are going to do first, we are going to create one function here. So let's say public static void subarray, or what function we can use it. Let's say any function name. Okay, let's say I'm going to write it as a subarray sum. Okay, now here what we have to do, we have to pass the arrays here. Okay, now what we have to do, we are going to apply the brute force approach. Like we are going to check for all the elements. The other ways are there, but it's important first that how we can solve it. What suddenly came to the mind. So that kind of approach, let's say, try to solve it. That is what using the brute force. So here, what we can do, let's say I'm going to write one variable sum is equals to 0. Why? Because I'm going to get the sum here all of the elements one by one. We are going to iterate over the array and get the elements and find out the sum. Now also here I need to pass this int sum. So what we can do is like, I'm going to write it as a element sum. Okay. Now here, what we can do is we can start iterating over the loop. Int I is equals to 0. Starting from the first, I less than array dot length, as I need to go on. 1 second. Yeah. So I need to go up to the end. Then I plus plus. Now here, one thing is important that I have to get all the possible pairs, right? I have to get all the possible pairs. Oops, here I have done the mistake. Okay. So what we can do is like, let's say instead of giving the element sum here, what we can do, because I need to get all the possible pairs, right? So here, let me put this one. Okay, so that let's say I'm going to work on this one. My current value of I is here. Now I'm going to start with all the possible pairs. If it is there, so I have to get it. Okay, so if it is there, so I have to get it. Fine. So what we can do is, let's try to write now for int, because I already visited. So what I will do, I'm going to assign the same value with the I. Sorry, j less than array dot length, then j plus plus. Okay. Now here I am going to check that if the sum is equals to, or first let me get the sum. Sorry, let me get the sum here. That is element sum plus equals to array of j. Now here I'm going to check if after every addition of elements, I'm going to check with that if the element sum, if it is equals to the sum which we are passing to this function. And also I don't want to, one more thing I don't want here is like, I don't want to point the same, mean to say that, let's say for example, I and j both starts pointing on the same element. So I'm not going to include that one. So for that one, if you want, you can do that, but let's say make it as a different distinct elements. Okay, so what we can do is like here, I'm going to write it like if the value of I is not equals to j, then only print me the value of indexes. Okay, so here I plus give some space plus j. Now let's call this function and check whether our code is working fine or not. So here, what is the name of the function? It is subarray sum. Subarray sum, and here I'm going to pass this array in the sum. Save it, and now let's run the code. You can see this, we are getting 0 and 2, 5 and 6. So 0, 1, 2. Here we are getting the error. Why? Because 5 and 6 is okay. Okay, why it is giving the sub array? Okay, it's correct only. So that's what I have to do, because here you can see this 6 plus 3 plus 2, because we need to get the sub array. Okay, and one sub array is this one. Or here what we can do is like, I can have the array of single element also. So let's say, let me include this one also. So this condition is not required in fact. Okay, let me remove this. So I was get confused because I didn't write this starting index and the ending index. So let's say starting index, then plus sign, and here ending index, because the thing is like here we have to get the sub array. So it means that the element should be continuous. Okay, now save this. Exactly, you can see here we have first array, sub array is going to be starting from the 0 to 2, that is from 0, 1 and 2 here. Then the starting index and the ending index is going to be 5 and 6. Let's check that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This is one array, and then that is one sub array, and then I have only single element who is having the value 11. So that is that's why it is showing as a 6 and 6. So this is how we can solve this problem. Even you can try with some other ways. I have tried to implement the code with a very simplicity. So hope you guys understand the concept. See you in another day. Thank you.